everybody, it's Deana again with the Rhode Island Wave newspaper and our on-the-spot video series here at the Cohasset Inn. We are taping, and today I have a couple very special guests, and we are taping on Veterans Day. So I have Camille Vella-Wilkinson.
Yes.
Who is the Chief Executive Officer of a program called Boots to Briefcases.
Mission Boots to Briefcases.
Mission Boots to Briefcases. And her partner and the Veterans Service Officer, Ed Viveros. Welcome so much. I'm so thrilled to have you both. They're both veterans. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I retired from the Navy and went into public office several years later. So I served in the Warwick City Council, and then I went up to the State House and served as a state representative. When I retired from public office, I decided that I wanted to continue the work that I had been doing with veterans, and so established Mission Boots to Briefcases.
That's wonderful. And you've been involved with it since the beginning?
I have. She was kind enough to invite me to join the board. My background is more of civil service for the Navy. I worked for the Navy for 30 years, where I met Camille in her military career, and I worked for her for 19 years.
Oh, wow.
So I knew her quite well. We hadn't seen each other in quite a few years.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day we had the paths crossed, and she said, how about help me out? Would you like to join? Me and the mission for my sister and I are founding Mission Boots to Briefcases. And I said, you know what, I can do that. So very fortunate to be able to do that, and I'm happy to do that. So I spent 2 years in the Army in Europe, and then got out, went to work for the Navy, as I said. And the rest is history. I'm here now, and I've spent a lot of my time working for the Disabled American Veterans as a volunteer, doing veteran service officer work.
That's wonderful. And Camille, I know it's not been that long since you've been retired from being a state rep.
That's correct. It's actually, it'll be a full year in January.
So if you recognize Camille, she might have been your rep for the Warwick area.
Yep.
Very nice. So tell us a little bit about the mission. For each of you, tell us in your own words what this is all about.
Well, there's been quite a number of studies that talks about how veterans transition from the military back into the civilian population. When you join the military, many of our military members go right out of high school or right out of college. They have very limited work experience, and then they go through boot camp, which is designed to envelop the military member and fast track their transition to being a military member. But the process is not repeated when you leave the service. So about a year out, they have a TAP program, Transition Assistance Program, which is an optional workshop that the member can go through, and they'll teach the person how to dress and a little bit of interviewing skills and help them work on their resume, and then set them free. You get your discharge papers, and then you're basically on your own. There's no follow through. And so a lot of military members flounder, and it creates a lot of angst, depression. Sometimes it ends in suicide as well, or they'll become part of the dispirited workforce. They'll make an attempt at looking for work. They'll try to get in with contractors and so forth, and then they just stopped. You know,
right.
So we saw that there was a need. I mean, there are organizations that provide these types of services, but my sister and I decided we wanted to envelop not only the veteran, but also the spouse, because, you know, the veteran is not going to be clear-minded and launched to go into a new career if the spouse is not gainfully employed as well. So we provide services for the trailing spouse. We also provide services for the children that transfer into schools. We have 2 educators that work as advocates for the individual educational plan, so that the parent doesn't have to go to the school by themselves and try to get the services that their child needs. It's holistic.
Very exciting. Do you think that they might not even realize this is a service they need?
Well, I think they realize that it's a service that they need. And unfortunately, they're not always going to the right location. I had the opportunity to go to a job fair that was held by the VA at CCRI in the late spring of last year. And there was a young veteran, new era veteran, who had just gotten out of the Guard. And he was talking to me about the fact that he just had his resume. And I asked him where he went, and he said to me he did some shopping online, and he found a place, and he paid $350 to have a resume. So that's steep. To me,
Yeah.
I feel that's steep. And I said to him, well, no, I don't want to make him feel bad, especially making an investment like that. Do you have a copy of it? Can I take a look at it? And he showed it to me. And to be honest with you, it wasn't a real resume. It was a work history. So I asked him what the process was, and it was basically AI, and he used a resume wizard. And I asked him how many interviews he had gotten, and he had said none.
Right.
So, I mean, the purpose for the resume is to get you the interview.
Right. Right.
And if you pay $350 and you don't get an interview,
yeah, that
you
can be
know.
rough. So do you think that what it sounds like your organization is doing is like resetting expectations? So when you go in the military and I was reading your thing, and boot camp sets your expectations up for what to expect in the military. But when you come out, life is very different.
That's true.
So it's resetting the expectations of what you're going to get in civilian life.
Resetting and really preparing them, because we have, like, Ed has helped us with mock interviews of candidates as well. We have other board members. Plus, I have people that are out in the community. So if I have an individual who wants to be a project manager, he did project management when he was in the military. So I set him up with a phone interview with another contact of mine who is an experienced and well-paid project manager, so that he's getting the right flavoring of the interview skills too.
Right.
It's not just reading a bunch of questions in a book or online and trying to practice your answer, which after a while sounds canned, you know?
Right, right. It's also kind of a different language. I just got a quick confession. I actually grew up, my stepfather was in the military, so he was in the Navy. So I grew up living in the military life. And it is a different life than what you get on the outside.
I think it's very structured, and that's what you're used to for so many years.
Right.
Everybody has kind of guided you along your way. And from the beginning, when you're at a entry level, you go into, just like somebody in life, you move up to a mid-manager job. You manage some people, supervise some people. Then you have 20 years or more. And then when you get out, it's like, oh, wait a minute, this has been very structured.
Right.
This has been very progressive. I've done A, B, C, D. Now I'm done. Okay, this should translate outside. And then you're out. When you're out of the military, there are resources, but at least for the older veterans like myself, in the day when I got out, it was like, thanks a lot, goodbye.
Right.
And that's not a bad thing. That's just the way it was.
Right.
So the program that Mission Boots, the Briefcases has where they take the holistic approach to the veteran and the family and the career, and then it's a free service.
Right.
So they're not paying a penny if you're a veteran or a immediate family member.
Right.
That's the beauty of the organization. And we have some extremely skilled people that we call upon that are all volunteers. And they'll come in a minute just to help somebody
Right.
like that, launch their career. We see a lot of food insecurity, see a lot of housing insecurity. Used to be referred to as homelessness. But now what we see is, even if you have a job and you have 3 kids, your wife doesn't work, maybe but part-time, you're working 2 jobs and you're barely getting by. That's a person that's at risk for whatever you want to call it, insecurity, homelessness. If you can't make the rent and they put you out, where you going to go?
Right.
If you're not eating well and you don't have the benefits, or you're not able to qualify for SNAP or whatever the other things are,
Right.
what do you do? So I think what the goodness of the program concentrates on those 2 things as an underlying theme. but not as a public discussion thing.
Right.
We're worried about you. We're worried about your ability to generate income. We're worried about things. Okay, you have health coverage.
Right.
All of the things that Camille and her team focus on is for the betterment of the person. So it's not like you're unemployed, though there are those that are unemployed that would.
Or you just might be underemployed.
That's a great way to put it. I think that's the perfect way to put it. You're underemployed.
Because it is a little bit of a different language. The language in the military, what you might call a job or what you do, the skill set you have, what you've been doing day to day. You have to translate that into street language.
Exactly.
That's why her experience and Conchetta, her sister, is a PhD in education and child development. Those are the kind of skills that they bring to the table,
Right.
and they can do that translation. And the translation makes it think a little more. I've viewed a couple and sat in on a couple of clients with them from the benefit standpoint. I try to help them with that. But what happens is they become more comfortable,
Right.
because of her career background,
Right.
and they become a little bit comfortable with when I speak to them about what benefits they have. They may have gotten injured. Many of our service members, just about all of them, when they go in, they sacrifice their youth.
Right.
The youth is given up in quest for a career path.
Right.
And whether you go in for 2, 3, 5, 10, 30 years, you sacrifice what the normal growing up period would be for a 17, 18-year-old kid. You're thrust into a position where you are now going to have to step up and do what it is they teach you, and then you have to do it well or they don't keep you.
Right.
So they grow up quick, which is good, but they don't have that ability to slowly get through the life, if you will.
Right.
So I think knowing that, having lived that, Camille is able to be a super translator of that kind of stuff.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So I think if you're out there and you're a veteran and you may be floundering a little bit and you don't even, I call it the double not knowing. It's like when you don't know what you don't know, you get lost. Like, I don't know what's missing. Like there's a puzzle piece missing and I don't know what's missing. You guys can help because you understand the military language and you understand the civilian language. So you build that bridge.
Especially when you focus on key transferable skills. So if someone's been doing the same job for 5, 10, 15 plus years, they may think that's the only thing that they're qualified to do. But when they sit with us, we find out what their key strengths are and what do you enjoy doing. Just because you're good at something doesn't mean you want to do it for the rest of your life.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So we help them with that.
Right.
We have a lot of assessments that we help them with.
Right. That's wonderful. So someone's out there and they are realizing, I've been struggling a little bit since I got out of the service to really get a foot into the career path. How did they find you guys?
They can reach us a couple of different ways. First of all, we have a website, missionbootstobriefcases.com.
Okay. We
have a physical location, so we do have a brick and mortar office, and it's suitable for young families to come. So if the veteran or if the spouse has a young child, they should feel free to bring the little one with them.
Right.
We have tables where they can sit and play and color. We have a desk with computer access if they have tweens or teens that need to work on their homework. So we don't say to them, find a babysitter. That's a cost.
Right.
And we don't want to make them pay more money. So they can do that. Give us a call. Of course, we're listed. They could Google us. And we're also part of Unite Us, which is another website where the veteran could put in a question, I need help with career transition. And then they would get the referral to us.
That's wonderful.
And we network with a lot of other military organizations as well, including the Rhode Island Office for Veteran Services.
So they're going to come in and you're going to make them feel really at ease, and then perhaps go over what they actually did in the military. Because I mean, everybody's got the same title, right? But everybody's doing a different job.
That's right.
There's a million different jobs that everybody's doing. So then you'll figure out how that translates. So these are the jobs that might suit you in civilian life.
Yes, because not all of them will come in saying, and I want to do this.
Right.
You know? I mean, I don't remember who it was that said that grown-ups are constantly saying to little kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? Because we're still looking for an answer.
Well, I always say the only right answer to that is happy.
Yeah, true. Do you find that out too late?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But so people don't have to be, you don't have to be alone out there. You don't have to be alone out there floundering and trying to figure this out. You have help.
That's exactly right. And they can come as many times as they need to. It's not as if it's one and done. And as Ed mentioned, the services are completely free. They're free for the military member and for his spouse and adult children that come through that need the services. They come in, and sometimes the first job's not the one that sticks.
Right.
You know, they may have some heavy bills that are breathing down their neck, and they're in a hurry to get a job as a quick fix.
Right.
They sit in the job for a month or two, and they say, oh boy, I made a mistake. So we'll call them, and how's it going? Just to touch base with them. We want to make sure that we have that open communication with them. We don't want to cut them loose and say, okay, fly, little bird, you're on your own. I mean,
Right.
that defeats the purpose of the services.
Wonderful.
So they come back. They come back and say, you know, it didn't really work out. All right, fine. What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? And then we go from there.
Wonderful. Now, so everything's free to the veteran,
Yes,
but you have expenses.
we do.
So how do we cover those expenses? How do we get donations? How's that work?
Ed, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
I think what we try to do is network with the various job services for the state and local governments, the Veterans Administration, and that helps us channel some of the expenses by getting you involved in those programs. But I think the bottom line is we do exist through donations, grants. We've applied for a few grants. We're pretty much a fledgling grant-seeking business that's very interested in trying to service our clients, but also get the financial support that a grant would bring in. And then we have different, I think you'd call them projects, if you will, that we try to seek grants for. I know we've worked with the indigenous people, and they've been fantastic. Chief Stanton is
Chief Waldron.
Chief Waldron has been extremely supportive in generating ideas and projects and directions for us to go in that truly benefit us, to help us benefit his veterans, men and women. So we go, that's one of the projects we've been involved in. But we try to go to as many of the government programs as possible. I know the Department of Labor has helped us. Rhode Island Department of Labor, the Rhode Island Veteran Services, Kasim Yan being the director, has been very helpful by offering us his staff. They meet with us frequently. They attend coffee hours with us. So those are the kind of things that we've been engaged in. We've gotten some grants from the city of Warwick. Warwick helped us out a great deal. They've given us the support. We've been able to meet at some of their facilities. We have an annual. We had our first annual. We have an annual table tennis tournament that we said, let's try this. We don't know if it's going to work. Well, I think it became a blast, and it became. If you ever watched the city of Warwick or any city, police and fire departments, and when they play sports, they play hockey and they hammer each other. But in ping pong, it was the surprise of the day to watch them become so competitive. We had the mayor.
Oh, yeah.
We had the mayor of Cranston. We had the mayor of Warwick. Just a simple gathering of people for a ping pong tournament and a social event turned into a really attractive crowd gatherer. And we got some pretty good financial support through some donations and things like that. But those are the kind of things that I think we're learning as we go. And we want to partner with as many people, organizations as possible. And we're a 503c3?
501c3.
501c3.
Wonderful.
So that it's a good thing if we can partner with people and raise funds through that. But we're looking for donations in kind. And that's one of the most important things, I think, is with just to use the table tennis event, was that the folks that put the table tennis tournament on for us, those are donations in kind of their time, their equipment. The school, Bishop Hendricken High School, allowed us with a nominal fee to rent a place. So all of these things that are, hey, yeah, we'll do that for you. What you got? I can't give you any money, but why don't you use our space? Those are extremely important for us to keep our costs down. So when we have an event, then we net as much possible cash, not cash, but as much proceeds as we can, instead of having a huge expense
Right.
and having a nice cash take. We end up with this much. We end up with a lot. Well, I know I'm gesturing, but the point is we end up with a good, we end up with a good amount more than when people give us donations in kind. And then that puts the word out around the city for us. It grows through referrals.
That's exactly right.
That's one of the biggest things. If we attend an event, we want you to know who we are, but we also want you to tell other people what we could do for you. Or maybe you don't need anything today, but your cousin or your brother or your mother or your father might need some help.
Right.
And I've had at some of the fundraising events I've attended, I've been fortunate enough to be able to refer a couple of my fellow veterans' spouses to Camille and Conchetta at Mission Boots to Briefcases, and I saw them a short time later, and they were extremely grateful that this service is out there.
Wonderful.
And that's a really big deal for us. So I think those are the kind of things we've been doing. We need to learn more about how to do more
Yes.
and how to generate more income. But we've just gotten into the grant cycles, and as we go, we try to get more involved in it.
So then that's the third thing, volunteers.
Yeah.
Need help.
Absolutely.
Yes. We do have volunteers that are coming forward, and we're also very happy to see that some of the military children are coming forward as volunteers.
Oh, nice.
Because we want that injection of youth like everyone does, you know.
Right.
We're looking for the younger generation because we need a succession plan. I mean, all of us have been around the block a couple of times, which is why we're so passionate about this type of work. But we recognize that we need to train and engage the current generation so that the work can continue.
Wonderful. So you got 3 ways you can participate. If you need help, there is nothing to be embarrassed about. If you need help in a transitions are difficult.
Yes.
If you can offer support or financial support. We got the website is above us in the header here. Mission Boots to Briefcases, help veterans transition from their military career to a civilian life and with a decent paying job so that they can actually pay for their life.
And we have a lot of information that's on the website. So we try to include not only events that we're hosting and participating in, but because we network with so many other organizations, we'll put their events on the website as well. So if you're a veteran and you're starting to feel a little bit blue, you can go to our website and see what's going on this month that I might want to try out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So and you get all of that wrapped in a nice bow of community.
That's right.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, the community piece is huge. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Well, it was very nice meeting both of you.
Thank you for having
Thank you.
us.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful.
Especially on Veterans Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Special.
There you go.
day.